I'm Meghan Kebernick, Spanish and Latin teacher here at Hall High School in West Hartford. And this is your CT Colt Tip of the Week about newsletters at the secondary level. This is one of my Latin 2 updates that I sent out back in February. I've sent out quarterly newsletters or updates to my students' parents and families throughout this school year to try to just keep them in the loop, maintain a clear and concise line of communication while still having all of the communication out there, and to try to make sure I reach out to all parents, not just the ones who I'm struggling with or want to praise significantly, get those like mid-range kids too. So I also reach out at the beginning of the year for more accurate emails than what's in PowerSchool from parents, because there are several different windows in PowerSchool that show parents' emails and they don't always match and they're not always up to date. So one of the first things I do at the beginning of the year is ask for an up-to-date email address, and then I put it in a Google spreadsheet so I can copy and paste it easily and share this out with parents and families through the Google Slides or through email. Each newsletter has curricular updates, so I'll zoom in to kind of show what that looks like. Sometimes in a different spot on the page, but it's always there. And in there, I usually update families on whatever cultural or linguistic topics we're covering, or what we just finished covering and what we're about to cover in the next unit. Usually I'll put something in there that inspires parents to talk to their child about what they're learning. It gives them that kind of conversation starter to show, I do know what you're doing in class, so we can talk about it, rather than what did you learn today? I don't know. They have something to actually concretely talk to them about. I also tend to include upcoming major assignments, so that way parents know what their kid is supposed to be working on, and they can kind of keep track of that for them. Just kind of give them a little nudge at home. In this edition, I also put in information about clubs and award opportunities for the students. So because this was Latin 2, they had the opportunity to be inducted into the World Language Honor Society. So I made sure I included the criteria, when the ceremony would be, things like that, because even if they're receiving them from whoever coordinates these things, it helps to have that information in another form from another person, just to have another reminder. I am also the advisor for our World Language magazine here at Hall, and so I put out a little notice because I noticed there wasn't a lot of engagement from my Latin 2s, so I wanted to see if maybe telling their families about it would encourage them to get involved and submit some of their amazing work. And we were also looking for development editors to help create new leadership within the magazine. I thought those students would be a good fit. And again, if you tell the parents, maybe they'll nudge them a bit to join. I also put student work in some of my newsletters. I want to showcase what they've been working on in class, let their parents see, because so often these kids do amazing work that they never show the people at home. So they did a medicine project on medicine in the ancient world. So I included the visuals that the students made. They had to make some sort of visual representation of whatever their topic was. And they came out amazing. So I included all of them in the newsletter, so no kid would feel left out, and they were all just worth it, I think. So this way parents could see what their kid was working on in class and the kinds of things they were learning. And none of the names are on here, but the kid could say, oh yeah, Mom, that one's mine, and be proud of it. So that was in February for Latin 2, but most recently in Latin 1, I reminded families of opportunities for retakes and my course expectations, my policies, because as we were getting towards the end of the year, students were upset about low grades and wanted to make up all of the late work from all year. So I made sure I included that with a link to my course expectations as well, because they changed in March once we became fully in person. I also included an extra credit opportunity, and I tell the students all the time, I don't generally give extra credit, but as a thank you to some of the parents who have been avidly reading these newsletters, I embedded some questions, and I said that if they emailed them to me by a certain day with the correct answers, they would get bonus points for their kid. And it was great. There was tons of engagement. A lot of parents who I hadn't heard from all year finally reached out to me. So that was nice. The kids got into it. They would come into class and be like, did my parents get the questions right? So it was a fun way to foster engagement. I also include any awards that students do earn to honor them this way. Every time we take a nationwide assessment or we do a competition in class, I'll put the winners here in the updates. So we took the Medusa mythology exam, and students across the country can take this test. We did a big project in preparation for it, so the kids were really proud if they scored well and earned medals or ribbons or certificates. So I included the kids and their scores and how amazing they did in our update. I also include memes because I use them in class all the time. I have the kids send them to me, sometimes as homework or just for fun. If they see them, they'll send them. And so I share them with parents too to get a little laugh, build that connection. But yeah, so this is the format I use. It's just a Google slide. You can edit the file. I think it's in page setup. You can change the slide size. You can go from centimeters to inches to points to pixels. I don't understand what those mean, so I went with inches. I figured 8 by 10 was a good rectangular size. And even though it looks small in the regular fit of the screen, I made sure I included instructions on how to zoom in when I sent out the first newsletter. So that way it's actually legible. And it's gotten some pretty good feedback from parents. So that is my quarterly newsletter that I send out, and I hope this helps somebody, and have a great week.